In the Power Rangers franchise, there are over 100 heroes, usually grouped into 3 categories: the main team members, the 6th Rangers, and the Extra Rangers. According to the official definition used by Toei Company and followed in the American adaptation, a 6th Ranger is the first special reinforcement to join the team after its initial formation. They stand out for having unique powers, their own suit, and an introduction arc that completely changes the team's dynamic. Meanwhile, Extra Rangers are additional heroes who appear later or outside the main formation, usually with specific roles or limited appearances. But this classification isn't always clear, and many fans disagree about who truly deserves to be called a 6th Ranger. So, in this video, you'll get to know all 22 official 6th Rangers, and in the next one, we'll talk about the Extra Rangers. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe so you won't miss the next video. Imagine having your mind controlled by a villain, becoming a powerful enemy against your will, and having to fight for redemption. This is the story of Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. When he arrives at Angel Grove High, Tommy immediately stands out after tying with Jason in a martial arts tournament. The villain, Rita Repulsa, notices his potential and casts a spell on him, giving him the Dragon Power Coin so he can become the Green Ranger and fight against the Power Rangers. Under Rita's mind control, he begins his journey as an antagonist, piloting the Dragon Zord and wielding the Dragon Dagger. In his iconic Green Ranger form, Tommy wears a predominantly green suit with gold accents, including the legendary Dragon Shield on his chest. After a series of epic confrontations, the turning point comes in episode 21, when the Sword of Darkness, which channels his powers and keeps him under control, is broken by the Red Ranger. Freed from control, Tommy becomes an ally, joining the original 5 Rangers as their 6th member. However, in the 2nd season, his powers start to fail. The green candle created by Rita Repulsa begins draining his energy, and Tommy must cope with the loss of his powers while proving he is no longer the villain he once was. By the end of his journey as a Ranger, his powers are completely drained, and he steps down from the role of the Green Ranger. A new beginning for a hero marked by his past. After losing the powers of the Green Ranger and coming to terms with his mistakes, Tommy returns to lead the team with renewed strength. When the Green Ranger's power was gone, a new light of hope emerged. In episode 18 of season 2, Zordon and Alpha 5 decide to create an even more powerful Ranger to combat Lord Zed and his evil monsters. They choose Tommy for this new role, deeming him worthy, and appoint him as the new leader of the team. He dons a white suit with a black and gold shield, wields the talking sword Saba, and commands the mighty Tiger Zord, becoming the White Ranger. Tommy takes on a strategic role in battles, piloting the Tiger Zord in 2 modes, leading key fights, and guiding the other Rangers with discipline and confidence. By the end of this chapter, Tommy remains as the White Ranger for many episodes, protecting Angel Grove from new threats while carrying the weight of his past as the Green Ranger. He concludes this era at the end of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3, when he and the other Rangers not only lose their powers, but are also transformed into children. Tommy Oliver would later return in other seasons, this time as part of the main team, taking on new roles as Red Zeo Ranger, Red Turbo Ranger, and Black Dino Ranger, no longer serving as a 6th Ranger. A warrior returning to the center of power when his team needs him most. Jason Lee Scott, after his time as the Red Ranger, briefly takes on the mantle of Gold Ranger in Power Rangers Zeo. When the mysterious Trey of Triforia, Lord of Triforia, and the original Gold Ranger is injured by Varrock's hunters during episode 32, the Golden Powers require a temporary host. In episode 33, season 4, Trey transfers his energy to Jason, allowing him to become the new Gold Ranger and fight alongside the Zeo Rangers. Right from his first appearance as the newest member of the team, Jason proves invaluable, battling the enemy alone and buying time for the others to assemble the Zeo power cannon. His suit is black with golden details, and he wields the iconic Golden Power Staff. In the final arc of the series, it becomes clear that the Golden Powers were never meant for a human host. Jason begins to experience the effects of power overload, and by episode 50, the season finale, he is seen in the command center being examined by Zordon, Alpha 5, and the other Rangers. In the end, he returns the power to Trey, who regains his unified form. Jason's time as the Gold Ranger comes to an end, but he reinforces his legacy as the leader who returned when the team needed him the most. A hero who awakens from frozen sleep to answer the galaxy's call. Zhane, known as the Silver Space Ranger, joins the team already in the position of 6th Ranger in Power Rangers in Space. Zhane was a warrior from the colony KO-35 and Andros's childhood best friend, long before the main events of the series. When they became teenagers, Zordon chose both of them to become the first Space Rangers. During a mission, Zhane sacrificed himself in battle to save Andros from an attack. Gravely wounded, he was placed in cryogenic sleep for about 2 years aboard the Astro Megaship until episode 20, when he awakens and reunites with the team of heroes. When morphed, Zhane wears a silver suit with golden accents. His weapon is the Super Silverizer, and he pilots the Mega Winger, first seen in episode 34. Zhane rejoins the fight while still recovering from his injuries with a limited morphing time, as confirmed by Alpha 5 in episode 22. In that same episode, he discovers a way to stabilize his powers by absorbing an energy beam that restores his strength. The Silver Ranger plays a crucial role alongside the Space Rangers, completing the team and helping to defeat the United Alliance of Evil. By the end of the season, after the enemies are defeated and the Rangers lose their powers due to Zordon's energy wave, Andros and Zhane decide to return to Earth with the rest of the team. A hero shaped by pain and deception. Ryan Mitchell was the first original Ranger created exclusively for the American version of the franchise, and his story is one of the most tragic and redemptive arcs in Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Before donning the silver suit, Ryan was simply the son of Captain William Mitchell. As revealed in episode 12, during his childhood, Ryan, his father, and his sister Dana were in a car accident that left their vehicle hanging off a cliff. At that moment, the demon Diabolico appeared and offered to save Ryan's life in exchange for taking the boy with him. Captain Mitchell refused at first, but realizing he couldn't save his son on his own, he accepted the deal, and Diabolico took the child away. Raised in darkness and manipulated by Diabolico, who convinced him that his father had abandoned him, Ryan grew up filled with anger. By the time he turned 20, he returned to Earth in episode 11, stealing the prototype Titanium Morphin and becoming the Titanium Ranger. His metallic silver suit reflects his inner duality, torn between light and shadow. He wields the Titanium Laser, a weapon that can transform into an axe, and commands the mighty Max Solar Zord, one of the most impressive mechas of the season. Over time, Ryan learns the truth about his father and switches sides, joining the Lightspeed team as the 6th Ranger. But redemption comes at a cost. Diabolico curses him with a snake tattoo that slowly threatens his life every time he morphs. However, in episode 16, he finally manages to break the curse. Afterward, Ryan appears in 8 more episodes helping the Rangers, and in the series finale, after defeating the demonic forces, he finally reunites with his family. Ryan Mitchell stands out as the first original American 6th Ranger, created exclusively for Power Rangers with no Japanese Super Sentai counterpart, making him one of the most unique and memorable characters in the entire franchise. A man who earned his power through sheer determination and learned that being a ranger means far more than wielding a weapon. Eric Myers was a soldier in the private organization Silver Guardians in Silver Hills, harboring resentment over his humble upbringing, while his former classmate, Wes Collins, seemed to have everything handed to him. When a powerful artifact from the future, the Quantum Morpher, is discovered, Eric seizes the opportunity before the Time Force Rangers and activates it himself, becoming the Quantum Ranger in episode 13. Shortly after, in episode 15, he also gains control of the Q-Rex, one of the most powerful Zords in the series. His suit features a deeper shade of red with prominent black accents. He wields the Quantum Defender, a versatile weapon that functions as both a blaster and a sword. Unlike the others, Eric operates independently, convinced that he can protect the city his own way, without relying on Time Force. As the series progresses, Eric Merrick begins to understand the true meaning of being a ranger. It's not about power or status, but about protecting lives. In episode 39, he sacrifices himself to save Wes and his father, handing over the quantum morpher so Wes can complete the mission. After Ran-6's defeat and the end of the season, Eric survives his injuries and chooses to remain in Silver Hills. He becomes co-leader of the Silver Guardians alongside Wes, closing his arc as a ranger who, despite starting out driven by ambition, ultimately found his true calling as a hero. A warrior who fought for centuries against the darkness he himself unleashed. Merrick Baliton is one of the most tragic and complex characters in Power Rangers Wild Force, defined by sacrifice, corruption, and redemption. His story begins over 3,000 years ago, as revealed through flashbacks in episode 15, when he was one of the 6 ancient warriors who protected the island of Animaria. During the final battle against the evil Master Org, Merrick used a cursed mask that granted him immense power, but also transformed him into the feared wolf demon Zen-Aku, enslaved by the mask's dark energy. To prevent him from destroying the world, his comrades were forced to seal him away, leaving him dormant for millennia. In episode 10, Merrick is accidentally released and returns under the mask's control, becoming an enemy of the Power Rangers. As Zen-Aku, he engages in fierce duels with the heroes, while fragments of his old self struggle to resurface, especially during moments with Princess Shayla, as seen in episode 13. His redemption begins in episode 16, when the mask is destroyed during a Zord battle, freeing him from its curse. Even so, Merrick chooses to isolate himself out of guilt and shame. Later, his ancient animal crystals return to him, granting him the lunar collar, which allows him to transform into the Lunar Wolf Ranger. Wearing a silver and blue suit, Merrick joins the team as their 6th Ranger, aiding them in their mission to defend the Earth. In episode 40, following the defeat of Master Org, Merrick remains on Earth. Like the other Rangers, he gives his morpher to Princess Shayla, relinquishing his powers. Seeking a new path, Merrick departs alongside Zen-Aku, completing his journey of redemption as a warrior finally freed from darkness. A hero who traded the lab for the battlefield to prove that knowledge can be just as powerful as strength. Cameron Cam Watanabe is the son of Sensei Kanoi Watanabe, leader of the Wind Ninja Academy and mentor to the Power Rangers Ninja Storm team. From the very beginning of the season, Cam works behind the scenes, designing weapons, analyzing data, and guiding the Rangers in combat. Despite his intelligence and discipline, he is constantly reminded that he is not meant to fight, destined instead to serve as technical support. Everything changes in episode 17. After witnessing his friends lose their powers, Cam travels to the past, where he meets his mother, Miko. She gives him the Samurai Amulet, a mystical artifact that holds the power of the Samurai clan. Returning to the present, Cam uses the amulet to transform into the Green Samurai Ranger, officially joining the team as their 6th Ranger. His green suit with metallic accents symbolizes the perfect blend of tradition and technology. He wields the Samurai Saber and pilots the Samurai Star Chopper, which can transform into the mighty Samurai Star Megazord. Cam quickly proves his worth, fighting alongside the others with both tactical intelligence and formidable combat skills. Even after earning his place as a Ranger, he continues to be the technical mind behind the team's innovations. By episode 38, after the defeat of Lothor, Cam returns to the Academy as an instructor, while the other Rangers take on the role of teachers, closing his journey as both a warrior and a mentor. A shy artist who had to face the world as a hero to find his true place among legends. Trent Fernandez-Mercer was a student at Reefside High and the adopted son of scientist Anton Mercer after losing his parents at a young age. In episode 11, while investigating his father's office, he accidentally passes through an invisiportal and ends up in Mesagog's lair, where he discovers the white Dino gem. The gem bonds with Trent, transforming him into into the white Dino Ranger, though initially under the influence of its dark power. His suit is white with metallic accents. He wields the white Drago sword and commands the Dragozord, which can combine with the Stegozord to form the Dino Stegozord. The gem grants him unique abilities, including enhanced speed, making him a formidable opponent. Everything changes in episode 21 when the life force extractor disperses and destroys the evil energy within the gem, freeing Trent from its corruption. From that point on, Trent officially joins the team as the 6th Ranger. Interestingly, even though Trent is technically the 5th member to join the team, he's still classified as a 6th Ranger, since his debut occurs after the main lineup is established and he has a distinct narrative arc with exclusive powers. Unlike supporting Rangers, known as Extra Rangers, Trent experiences a deep storyline of control, redemption, and growth, gaining his own Zord, weapon, and crucial role in defeating the main villain. In other words, the title of 6th Ranger depends not on numerical order, but on narrative impact. As the story unfolds, it's revealed that Trent's adoptive father, Anton Mercer, is actually the villain Mesagog. During an experiment gone wrong, Anton was transformed into Mesagog, two personalities sharing the same body, much like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Through determination and compassion, Trent regains control of his gem, turns its power toward good, and ultimately saves his father from the mutation that had made him an enemy. Trent loses his White Ranger powers during the final battle against Mesagog, concluding his journey as one of the most conflicted and redemptive heroes in the franchise. An agent from the future who travels through time to fix a tomorrow that hasn't happened yet. Sam arrives in the present with one mission: to prevent SPD from falling to the invasion he witnessed in his own time. Sam first appears in episodes 7 and 8 as a young boy with teleportation abilities and a lonely childhood. Chosen by SPD from the year 2040 to receive the Omega technology, he is sent back in time to stop the dark future he saw. As the Omega Ranger, Sam dons a white suit marked with the Roman numeral 6 on the chest, advanced technology that sets him apart from the others. He doesn't use a traditional Earth-based morpher. Instead, he wields the Omega Morpher, often manifests as a sphere of energy, and commands the Omega Max cycle, which can transform into the Omega Max Megazord when needed. His role is both combative and tactical. He not only fights, but also provides future intel and technological support that changes the course of the team's missions. Sam's identity as the Omega Ranger is fully revealed in episode 22, where he begins operating openly alongside the B Squad. In episode 38, after Emperor Groom's defeat and order is restored, Sam completes his mission and returns to his own time, ending his story as the Ranger who came from the future to save the present. An ancient knight who awakens from a long slumber to once again fulfill his oath of protecting the magic of light. Daggeron, known as the Solaris Knight, is one of the most mysterious and revered characters in Power Rangers Mystic Force. His story begins centuries before the main events, when he trained the legendary Leanbow and fought alongside him against the dark sorcerer Imperius in a war that determined the fate of the magical realm. During a fierce battle against Imperius, Daggeron was betrayed and cursed, transformed into a frog, and condemned to wander the mystic forest for ages. Years later, in episode 14, the curse is broken by the Blue Mystic Ranger, restoring him to his original form. Daggeron then joins the Rangers to help them face the new threats rising from the darkness. As the 6th member of the team, Daggeron morphs using the Solar Morpher, dons golden and blue armor, and wields the Solar Saber, a mystical sword capable of channeling spells and pure light energy. Beyond his combat skills, Daggeron commands his own Zord, the Solaris Star, which transforms into the Solar Streak Megazord, an interdimensional train powered by solar energy. This machine serves both as transportation and as a mighty weapon against the forces of darkness. In the final battle against Optimus the Master, Daggeron joins all the other Rangers of the season to defeat the villain once and for all. Afterward, it's implied that Daggeron remains as a guardian of the mystic realm, preserving the balance between light and shadow. a warrior from another world who faced monsters, loss, and redemption to discover his true purpose. Tyzonn, the Mercury Ranger, arrives on Earth in the middle of the Rangers' mission in Operation Overdrive to recover the jewels of the powerful Corona Aurora. Hailing from the planet Mercuria, Tyzonn was once a member of an intergalactic rescue team. After witnessing the deaths of his teammates at the hands of the Fear Cats, he dedicates his life to hunting them down. In episode 11, upon arriving on Earth, Tyzonn is captured by Maltor and transformed into a monstrous red creature, temporarily becoming an enemy of the Rangers. By the end of episode 12, thanks to the power of the Toru Diamond, he regains his true form and agrees to join the team, becoming the 6th Ranger. His suit is silver with orange and blue accents, reflecting his extraterrestrial origin. Tyzonn wields the Drive Detector, a multifunctional weapon, and commands the Mercury Zord, which combines with the others to form the Flashpoint Megazord, playing a vital role in the team's major battles. His signature ability is transforming his body into liquid mercury, allowing for unpredictable attacks, fluid defense, and lightning-fast movements that catch enemies off guard. In episode 32, following the defeat of Flurious and the restoration of the Corona Aurora, Tyzonn finds peace with his past and is joyfully reunited with his fiancée Vela, whom he had long believed to be dead after the Fear Cats attack, only to discover she had miraculously survived. Inseparable siblings who were meant to be test pilots, but ended up becoming true heroes. Jem and Gemma are the original test pilots for the Ranger hardware program. They survived the destruction of the Alphabet Soup Research Facility and escaped with the Gold and Silver Series morphers, which they used to launch a fierce, independent assault against Venjix in the Wastelands. Both were trained by Dr. K to operate experimental suits, Zords, and weapon systems. The duo always acts together, finishing each other's sentences and fighting as if they share one mind. They first appear briefly in episode 14 wearing the gold and silver suits, assisting the RPM Rangers in battle before disappearing again, leaving the team and the audience intrigued. This happens again in the following episode, until they are finally brought to the Rangers' base, where Dr. K explains their true origin. Jem wears the Gold Ranger suit, wielding the Cloud Hatchet, and pilots both the Falcon Zord and Whale Zord during high-risk missions. Gemma, the Silver Ranger, wields the Sky Shift Blazer and pilots the Tiger Jet along with the shared Whale Zord. Together, they combine their Zords to form the Mach Megazord. Unlike traditional Rangers, Jem and Gemma weren't chosen through the standard selection process. They were test operators who became real heroes through their own courage and determination. This unconventional and late entry into the team solidifies their place as the 6th Rangers. After the final victory against Venjix, the Rangers return their morphers to Dr. K. Jem and Gemma do the same, and later enlist in Eagle Squadron, continuing their adventures as official operatives. A childhood friend who returns stronger than ever to balance the team and prove that true courage comes from the heart. Antonio Garcia joins as the 6th member of the Power Rangers Samurai, taking on the mantle of the Gold Samurai Ranger. He's a skilled fisherman and self-taught engineer who grew up alongside Jaden Shiba, the Red Ranger. From a young age, Antonio admired the legacy of the samurai and dreamed of one day fighting by his friend's side. Antonio first appears in episode 13, proudly revealing himself to the team with a morpher of his own creation. Despite initial hesitation from Mentor G, who believed Antonio wasn't prepared since he didn't belong to one of the samurai families, Jaden recognizes his determination and welcomes him into the group. As the Gold Ranger, Antonio commands the element of light, wields the Barracuda blade, and controls the Claw Zord, a massive lobster-like mecha. His creativity, quick thinking, and energy make him a vital part of the team, introducing new tactics and technology to their battles. His role continues into Power Rangers Super Samurai, where his presence brings not just strength, but also humor and optimism to the team. Antonio's charisma and ingenuity symbolize that being a Ranger isn't about bloodline, it's about spirit, skill, and the will to fight for what's right. At the end of the series, after peace is restored, Antonio announces that he's finally going on his dream trip, a fishing expedition in search of rare fish. He takes his morpher with him, joking that if the Rangers ever need him again, they know how to reach him. A warrior created to protect Earth who slowly learns the true meaning of humanity. During the alien invasion faced by the Power Rangers Megaforce, a new ally emerges, Robo Knight, an artificial warrior built centuries ago by Gosei to defend the planet and maintain the balance of nature. He awakens in Episode 8 when the War Star forces threaten Earth's survival. Built with advanced alien technology, Robo Knight possesses superhuman strength, speed, and near indestructible endurance. Unlike the human Rangers, he doesn't feel emotions, acting purely from duty and logic, believing that his purpose is to defend nature above all else. In the following episodes, Robo Knight faces a moral conflict about what it truly means to protect the Earth. Initially, he sees humans as destructive as the invaders themselves, but his perspective changes as he fights alongside the Rangers, discovering compassion, courage, and selflessness. In Episode 15, Robo Knight is officially welcomed by Troy as the 6th Ranger, wielding the Lion Blaster and commanding the Lion Zord, which combines with the Gosei Great Megazord to form the Gosei Grand Megazord. His story reaches its emotional climax in Episode 17 of Super Megaforce when he sacrifices his own life force during a battle with Vrak to save the Silver Ranger and ensure humanity's victory. Though made of metal, Robo Knight proves that heroism isn't defined by origin, it's defined by choice. Even a machine can possess the heart of a true Ranger. A survivor from another world who carries within him the power and spirit of every Ranger who came before. Yes, he was just mentioned in Robo Knight's story, but now it's time to tell his own. Orion was a miner from the planet Andracia whose life was shattered when his homeworld was destroyed by the Armada, the empire led by Emperor Mavro. In Episode 8, through flashbacks, we see that after losing everything he loved, Orion discovers a crashed spaceship, and inside it, the Silver Morpher and the key of 6th Rangers, a relic containing the combined powers of every 6th Ranger in history. He arrives on Earth in Episode 7, initially as a mysterious and incredibly powerful Ranger, capable of defeating entire platoons of enemies on his own, earning the awe and respect of the Megaforce team. His silver suit reflects both his alien heritage and his connection to the legendary Rangers of the past. Orion wields the Super Silver Spear and commands the Q-Rex Megazord, one of the mightiest Zords of the entire series. You might wonder, how can Orion be the 6th Ranger of Super Megaforce if Robo Knight already held that role? During much of Super Megaforce, Robo Knight is missing, captured and reprogrammed by Vrak. The defining moment of Orion's journey occurs in Episode 17, when Robo Knight, the former 6th Ranger, sacrifices his energy to save Orion from a fatal strike. This act becomes a symbolic passing of the torch, the guardian of Earth saving the warrior of the stars. Orion's story closes as the hero who bridged 2 worlds and became the final bearer of the legendary 6th Ranger legacy. A medieval knight who traversed centuries to fulfill his oath and rediscover his true self. In Episode 11, we learn that Sir Ivan of Zandar was the protector of Prince Colin in 1215 when he discovered the legendary gold energem by a lake. During a confrontation with the hooded warrior Fury, the energem bonded with Ivan, but Fury absorbed him into his own body, imprisoning Ivan for centuries while keeping the stone. Upon emerging in the present, Ivan escapes Fury and claims the energem as the Gold Ranger, becoming the 6th member of the Dino Charge Rangers. His metallic gold suit, wielding the gold Terra Saber and commanding the Patera Zord, mark him as a legendary warrior. He speaks with an archaic accent, calls his allies Sir and Lady, and fights driven by honor, loyalty, and duty, not glory or status. In subsequent episodes, Ivan tests the Rangers' worthiness, but fighting alongside them earns his recognition of their valor. Episode 20 marks his ultimate triumph, as he defeats Fury and helps seal the threat of Sledge. At the conclusion, the Keeper gives Ivan the choice to return to his own time, and a portal opens, sending him back to his original era. A country music singer who discovers that his song was only the beginning of a much greater mission. Levi Weston, born Aiyon Romero, becomes the Gold Ninja Steel Ranger when Earth's call to heroism outweighs the stage lights. During a battle against the villain Ripcon, the Gold Power Star falls at his feet, triggering his transformation into the Gold Ranger. Instantly, he earns the trust of the team and joins as the 6th member. Levi's metallic gold suit, cowboy hat, and free-spirited personality set him apart, showing that heroes can come from unexpected places. He wields the Gold Ninja Battle Morpher and commands the Bull Zord, which combines with others to form the Bull Rider Megazord, adding unique style, confidence, and abilities to the team. By the end of the season, after defeating Galvanax, the Ninja Nexus Prism is destroyed. Without its power, the Ninja Steel becomes unstable, and the Zords and Morphers are reduced to dust, a symbolic closure of their mission, proving they fulfilled their purpose in defeating evil. A genius scientist and a robot who dreams of being human, two unlikely heroes whose friendship becomes the ultimate power. Nate Silva is the prodigy of Grid Battle Force, a young genius in engineering and biology responsible for developing the Morphex and the systems channeling the Morphin Grid. During an attack by Evox, Nate acts quickly, combining human DNA with a beetle to create the Gold Ranger. The same experiment brings Steel to life, a humanoid robot with consciousness who becomes the Silver Ranger. Steel debuts in Episode 8, starting as curious, naive, and fun-loving, yet quickly showing courage and loyalty. While Nate embodies logic and intellect, Steel represents heart and emotion. Together, they form a perfect balance of mind and soul, technology and humanity. Nate wields the Striker Blaster and Striker Saber, controlling the Wrecker Zord. Steel uses the Striker Blaster and pilots the Jet Zord, combining to form the Beast X King Megazord. Throughout the series, they face challenges of identity and purpose. Steel dreams of becoming human, and Nate learns heroism goes beyond science. In Episode 20, Steel sacrifices himself to destroy Evox, earning admiration, and by the end of Season 2, the Morphin Grid grants him a real human body. Nate and Steel close their journey as a symbol of true Ranger spirit, friendship, sacrifice, and the union of machine and heart. A warrior from a distant past whose loyalty and courage span eras, whose friendship rekindles hope for the Dino Fury Rangers. Aiyon is an alien from the planet Rafcon and an old companion of Zato, the Red Ranger. 65 million years ago, he was part of the original Dino Fury Ranger team created to battle the villain Void Knight. During the final battle, Aiyon is captured and placed in stasis inside the Gold T-Rex Cosmic Zord, remaining asleep for millennia. He awakens in Episode 15, immediately resuming his role as the Gold Ranger. With golden electric energy, he wields the Mosa Blaster and Mosa Blade, channeling lightning power. His Mosa Razor Zord is one of the team's most formidable, capable of fighting on land and in water. Coming from the distant past, Aiyon brings ancestral honor and a unique perspective, becoming essential once more in Cosmic Fury, fighting alongside Zato to protect the universe. That's it! Thanks for watching.